Welcome! Today we will be discussing how to choose the right CPAP equipment for you based on your prescription. If you don't know how to read your prescription, however, that's okay. Linked to this video is a playlist for all new CPAP users. You can watch our first video in the series to get a quick rundown on how to read your own prescription. And if you're new here, please click the subscribe button below and click the bell icon. It will notify you when we have new content. And be sure to watch till the end to learn how you can save extra on your new CPAP. Now, let's get into how to choose the right CPAP for you. Okay, so I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Some brands in CPAP are more recognizable, but they have no indication of performance. There, I said it. But it did need to be said. So instead of wasting our time explaining which brands are quote-unquote superior, we are instead going to go over a system of selection that will be more custom to you. First, we need to ask ourselves a series of questions. 1. Does my prescription call for a manual or an auto CPAP? Does it call for pressure relief? 2. Where will I be using my CPAP? At home or on the road? 3. Does anyone need to see my sleep data? 4. What climate am I mostly in? Is my room mostly kept cold? 5. What can I afford? Now, I would like to point out that these are not the only features available or concerns you should have. However, these are the core questions most people should ask themselves before looking at any CPAPs. With that said, let's take a closer look. If you see a single pressure, your prescription is a manual. However, you can still get an auto if you'd like to try one, as autos have both a manual and auto mode. That said, if your prescription calls for 2 pressures, both between the ranges of 4 to 20 cm, then you can only get an auto CPAP. As far as pressure relief, depending on the brand, this can all be called a different thing. EPR, expiratory relief, flex, they are all the same. What pressure relief actually does is lower the pressure when you exhale. This makes it so you are not fighting against the air pressure and can breathe a bit more naturally through the night. Where will I be using my CPAP? Now, I know you may travel once in a while, but I want you to be very honest with yourself where this machine will be used the bulk of the time. This is important for a few reasons. For one, a home unit is much bigger when compared to a travel unit, usually at least. It also may weigh a bit more. However, a travel unit, no matter how high tech, is still always going to be louder than a home unit. This is because with a smaller space, there is no area to buffer that noise. Another thing to consider is that your home unit often will have a humidifier, while your travel unit usually will not. Some units, like the Z2 or the Air Mini, use contraptions to lock in moisture. Still, others might have an actual humidifier like the XT Fit or the Transcend 365. Though keep in mind the XT Fit does not automatically come with the humidifier, it's sold separately. Yet you should be aware these units will often add unwanted bulk, sometimes defeating the purpose of having a portable CPAP to begin with. Does anyone need to see my sleep data? This feature is important usually for 3 reasons. 1. Your doctor wants to monitor how you are sleeping and may need to adjust your settings for you. 2. Your job legally requires you to hand in sleep data. Pilots, truckers, I'm looking at you. 3. Your insurance wants to make sure you are using your machine. Now, the last part won't matter if you buy your unit yourself. It's one of the many reasons we at Respshop do not deal directly with insurance, as we want to make sure you get a unit at a fair price and it is your property no matter what. That said, if none of the reasons above apply, and you have no interest in seeing how you're sleeping, having a sleep data report might not be a feature you need. What climate am I mostly in? If you yourself are a polar bear, or like my spouse, like to keep the window open at night regardless the time of year, An option of heated tubing might be important. Some machines don't have the option for heated tubing like the XT Fit. Still, some machines have it down to an art like the Sleep Style, which made an innovative small heated tube. Be sure to check your room temperatures before making your choice. Now, the most important question: what can I afford? Finally, you need to ask yourself what your budget is. CPAPs are unfortunately rather expensive. On average, a patient will pay about $1,000 for an auto machine and mask setup. If you have an HSA card or an FSA card, I'd highly recommend using them to purchase your equipment. However, if you're going through insurance, be sure to know what you are paying up front to avoid overpaying, hidden fees, or any recurring payments. For those of you purchasing your machine yourself, know your budget and know what machines cost. But because prices fluctuate and because I do not want to risk dating this video, I won't include exact costs. That said, it is worth noting manual machines usually cost the least. On the other hand, auto CPAPs are about mid-range in their price and BiPAPs are the most expensive. Know what features you need. And if you're purchasing from us at Respshop, be sure to ask about available discounts. They're always available. Next week, we will be discussing how to choose the right CPAP mask for you and to make sure you have the correct size. Our video today is sponsored by Respshop.com. Respshop carries a comprehensive list of CPAP supplies, and its expert staff is always available to assist you from choosing the right CPAP equipment to answering any question you might have. And now, new CPAP users can save 10% with the code NEW at checkout. See the description below for details. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next Monday.